guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Truglo Omnia 8. This is a 1:8 low power variable optic, and I'm super excited to do this review, so let's get right into it. So like I said before the intro rolled, we are going to be doing a review of the Truglo Omnia 1:8 low power variable optic. Alright, so before I really get into this review, I would like to say that Truglo did send this out to me to do the review on, and I was really intrigued by it and thought I'd give it a shot. So let's get right into this review. So the Omnia series has been out for a while now, and this year at SHOT Show in 2020 they released the 1:8 version. Okay, and this had some upgrades to the optic that weren't in the 1:6 or 1:4. Alright, and I think really is a step forward for Truglo. Alright, so let's start with price point on this optic. This optic is about $430. Optics Planet I think has it for like $370. It just depends on where you look and what you can get it for, but around the $400 range is what you can expect to come in on. And in terms of 1:8s, that's pretty comparable to most other things like the Strike Eagle. They're around the $300, $400 range, and that's Vortex's optic, and this is Truglo's. So that being said, let's get right into the actual review of this optic. So I have this optic mounted on a PSA 556. This is what I did all my testing on. I shot probably 300-400 rounds through the optic. And just tried to make sure everything stayed consistent, and to really get a good feel of the optic, I tried to cycle through the powers very well, and really do a lot of shooting with it. It tracked really well. I zeroed it at 50 and didn't have to touch the dials up here at all throughout the process. Alright, so let me switch camera angles and we'll get like a closer view of the optic, and we'll go over all of its parts and pieces. Alright guys, so we have the Truglo Omnia optic right here, and this optic, as you see it on my rifle, is how it came in the box. So here's the box, the Omnia series. Not a lot really came in the box, that's why I didn't really do an unboxing review. It came with the book, clean cloth, and a sticker. So that was basically it. So it came pre-mounted, but I took it apart and messed with all of it to make sure it was aligned correctly. Came with scope caps, which are really nice. I do like scope caps, and pretty sweet. But let's start working our way down the optic. So if we remove those scope caps and we look, you have your focusing ring back here for, I guess, your individual eyesight. I personally don't mess with it too much. I messed with it once and didn't change it, and I was shooting at a variety of different ranges. So I mean, it's nice to have. Every scope has it. Moving down, you have your zoom. So this comes with a throw lever, and this is a pretty stiff turn right here. And you can throw it pretty good, but it is tough, not gonna lie. And I kind of like that. I like that about it. Some resistance is good. Being able to just sling it really easy, I don't really like that. So it feels like it's working in there. Moving down, the mount. This is a Truglo mount. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't know which side it had the labeling on. It is a Truglo mount, 30mm tube, so most of your mounts will fit. The mount's not the lightest. Neither is the scope really the lightest, but it works. I mean, they tried. So moving further down, you have your turrets. These are half MOA adjustments. You can pull up on them and then rotate and lock them in, and then push it down and it'll lock the turrets so they don't move. With the second focal plane scope, I don't really find it incredibly necessary to have these exposed turrets out here. It is nice they lock down, but if they weren't exposed, I wouldn't find that big of a deal out of it. So, oh well. Flipping the rifle all the way around, we come to the illuminated reticle. So this has 11 power settings. The thing gets pretty bright. I'm really happy with it. You can go in between. So like if we went to, let's go to 2, we could put it between 2 and 3. It'll cut the reticle off. You can switch it to 3 real quick if you know that's what you're going to be running it in. And that was one of the improvements from the 1 to 6 that I think they did a really good job on and that I really like. So the reticle that's in the scope is the APTR, or All-Purpose Tactical Reticle. It was designed for the XM193 bullet, and I did confirm. I was shooting wolf, and I took it out. I zeroed it, and then I took it out to various distances, and it's fairly close, as close as you can get. I mean, not everybody has that specific ammo to shoot. So moving down, you have a 24mm objective down here at the end. And that's basically it for the specs on the scope, just like looking at it right here. So some things I do want to point out while I was testing, the end of the scope came off. I wasn't using the lens caps, and you can just, it screws right on, screws right off, but it did come off when I was doing a lot of shooting, so I do want that to be set. Alright. A ring came out at the end of the scope, but other than that, nothing really happened. I did beat up the scope a lot. Did knock it right there, and there's some other scuffs and stuff on it. But I do think the scope handled really well. It was really clear. You could see really well out of it. When you got to 8 zoom, I don't think it was too distorted, and it didn't really bubble any. So yeah, that's a plus for the scope. This does have some pretty good eye relief, and I think for a 1 to 8, it did do very well. I mean, seemed pretty reliable when I was looking through it and testing it. Alright guys, so I think that about does it for this review of this Truglo Omnia 1 to 8. In conclusion, I think that the optic is very well priced and a bargain for what you're getting. 1 to 8 optics usually run pretty expensive for the higher end, and I think this is definitely a very good and crisp and clean optic. Like I said, the only problem I had with it was just the little, I wouldn't say it was a lens cap, but it just, I don't know, it's like a guard or something down here, and it unscrewed and it screwed right back in. That was the only problem I had with it. Otherwise, it was very clear, easy to use. The turns tracked well. I mean, it held at 0. I mean, it did really well, and I had enjoyed shooting it a lot. So, if you're looking for a low power variable optic and you're looking for a higher magnification, like a 1 to 8, this is definitely something I think you should consider and keep an eye out for. Alright, just to reiterate, price would be about $400, $450, maybe $370, I don't know, in that range. Link will be in the description to go check it out down below, so go hit that up, and hopefully you will enjoy the Omnia like I have. So once again, a big thanks to Truglo for sending this out. Really enjoyed the optic, and I thought it did very well and performed very good. Alright guys, so one last thing, go hit that subscribe button. It's free and it does you no harm. And if you don't like the videos, you can just unsubscribe later, but you're not going to do that. That about does it. I appreciate everybody for watching. So, as always guys, take someone outdoors, and I'll see y'all next time.